saying, "Tell us when these things will be, and what will be the signs of coming in the end of the age." And Jesus answered them, "See that no one leads you astray, Param. For many will come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and they will lead many astray. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place, for the end is not yet. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. And these are but the beginning of the birth pains. Then they will deliver you up to tribulation, and they will put you to death, and you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And then many will fall away and betray one another and hate one another. And many false prophets will arise and lead many astray. And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be proclaimed throughout the whole world as a testimony to all nations that the end will come. So when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by the prophet Daniel standing in the holy place, let the reader understand, and that those that are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let the one who is on his housetop not go down to take what is in his house, and let not one who is in the field turn back and take his cloak. And alas, for women who are pregnant and for those who are nursing infant in those days, pray that your flight not be in winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been beginning of the world until now, and never will be. And if those days had not been cut short, no human flesh would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will cut short. Be cut short. Then if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it, for false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead people astray, if possible, even the elect. So if I have told you beforehand, so then you say, look, he's in the wilderness, talking about Jesus, do not go out. If they say, look, he's in the inner room, do not believe it. For as the lightning comes from the east and shines as far as the west, so it shall be the coming of the Son of Man. Where the corpse is, there the vultures will gather. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven. And the powers of heaven will be shaken, and there will appear in heavens a sign of the Son of Man. And then all the tribes of earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. From the fig tree learn its lessons, so as soon as its branches come tender and put out its leaves, you know that summer is near. So also, when you see all these things, you'll know that he is near at the very gates. Truly I say to you, this generation will not pass away until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But concerning the day and the hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. For as were the days of Noah, so it will be coming the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage, until the days when Noah entered the ark, and they were unaware until the flood came and swept them all away. So will the coming of the Son of Man be. It's hard to preach over those motorcycles. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, and one will be taken and one will be left. Therefore stay awake. You do not know what day your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore, you also must be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Who then is the faithful and wise servant who his master has set over his household to give them food at their proper time? Blessed is the servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him on over all his possessions. But if the wicked servant says to himself, my master is delayed, and begins to beat his fellow servants and eats and drinks with drunkards, the master's servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and an hour he does not know. Oh, it's time.
Yeah, we're living in those days right now, Chris, but we know not the hour or the time, like Jesus said, when he's going to come. But we're living right in the midst of all of these things. Love will grow cold. Men begin to hate one another, to murder one another. So we got to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Amen.